Hey everyone, welcome to Around the East, and my name is Sarah Rodriguez, and today's episode we're going to talk about some sports ministry news and updates about Christian athletes around the country. So our first story takes us to the National Football League. In the off-season, as we know, it's very common for many athletes to announce their retirement or announce their trades. So we're going to look at a recent article by The Ringer that describes how former Chicago Bears running back Matt Forte decided to announce his retirement. At the end of February, Forte spoke with Jason Romano from Sports Spectrum, and Forte said, "I'm a Christian athlete. Actually, I'm more a Christian than an athlete, and I wanted people to realize that first. It felt if I used a regular publication that is strictly sports-oriented, they'd leave out Jesus' name." So Forte decided to use Sports Spectrum and Romano's article to describe how he was going to retire from the Chicago Bears and the National Football League. What a cool testament to Matt Forte's faith that he would decide to use a pretty unknown faith-based publication to announce his retirement instead of releasing that information to ESPN, Fox News, or any of NFL Network or any of those other major sports broadcast outlets. So shifting gears, we're going to look at our second story. We're going to head over to high school football. We're going to go to the South in Mississippi. The Meridian Star newspaper posted an article about Mack Barnes' nomination for inaugural East Mississippi Fellowship of Christian Athletes, FCA, Coach of the Year. And this is the first time that that title has been given out. And Barnes, he had coached football at Lamar School for 17 years. And last year his team won the state championship. But Barnes has been involved with sports ministry for way longer. He has started with FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, in 1978. So for more than 40 years, Barnes has devoted his life to sharing the gospel through sports, specifically to his team, but also to other athletes. It's so cool to see someone so devoted to using the gifts that they have and describing the gospel and sharing the gospel through the avenue of sports. God is moving. God is using people all around the world in professional sports and in high school sports to share the gospel. So for our last story, we're heading out to Iowa. The Sioux City Journal reported an article recently that former Super Bowl champion Adam Timmerman decided to devote his life after professional football to working with sports ministries. Timmerman won Super Bowl 31 and Super Bowl 34. In 31, he won with the Green Bay Packers, and in 34, he won with the St. Louis Rams. So just a little background. Timmerman was at the top of his game. He won 2 Super Bowls with all-star quarterbacks, and he played with the best of the best. But after his retirement, he decided to help increase the presence of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, FCA, in Iowa. He decided that's what he was called to do after playing professional football. He has a personal connection to sports ministry because he grew in his faith during 1999 to 2007 by being involved with FCA in St. Louis. And now Timmerman, because of what he's devoted his life to, he travels around 17 different counties in Iowa, working to help spread the gospel through sports and encouraging others to do that as well. It's so cool and so encouraging to me to see former professional athletes leveraging their platform and their skill set to continue to increase the success of sports ministry around the world. So that's all we have for you today. We have those 3 stories, and I hope you were encouraged by the stories of how God is working through athletics. He's working in the professional world, he's working in the collegiate world, and he's working in the high school sports world as well. So we want you to tune in next week for some more sports ministry news. This is Sarah Rodriguez, and this has been Around